Hello, everybody. I am Andy Christian, your director for the evening. Welcome to Confessional. We are Reservoir Frogs, and tonight we weave the story of three people with high ambitions and low morals. Using your suggestions, we'll improvise their journey through greed, violence, and stupidity. The suggestions will give our actors an idea for their characters. Those characters will then introduce themselves, and on we go. Here are tonight's suggestions. Our object is a paycheck. Our location is a hayloft, and our relationship is a detective and witness. All right, you freaks and creeps, this is Confessional.
I'm Rob Stafford. I run a small hobby farm out here in the countryside. Things are pretty quiet around here usually, but the other night I went out to my barn, heard some commotion out there, and up in the hayloft was a dead body. I called it in, of course. I mean, what are you gonna just not call that in? Now, they're sending out a detective. I hope he doesn't find my back lot. It's got a lot of weed growing in it.
My name is Stevie Christian. Been a private investigator for 25 years and got called onto this case to help out the cops here in this town. And well, there turns out to be a dead body in a hayloft. So it's pretty uncommon over here, but I'll do what I got to do to figure out who did it.
I'm Becky Johansson. I'm the daughter of, Sir Johansson's chicken farm up the way from the hobby farm. And I take care of the chickens, and I know this town pretty well. It's pretty small. We have at least 5 little farms around here, and we all like to mingle and have socials. And every now and again, I'll clean out barns and haylofts for my neighbors, and that's what I do.
Ron Stafford, professional hobby farmer, and unfortunately, a witness to a homicide, I think. Oh, God.
Stevie Christian, private investigator for 25 years. If I don't figure out who did it, well, I wouldn't have a job.
Becky Johansson, daughter of Sir Johansson's chickens. I just want everyone in the town to be happy and to keep our community safe and clean. So I clean barns sometimes.
Well, I mean, I probably shouldn't say, but yeah, of course, I knew him. Mac, oh God, what was his name? Mac Phillips, I think? Yeah, he worked for the Johanssons. Yeah, the egg farmers next door. One of their hired drivers, I think. You see him around. I mean, a place like this, there's only so many holes to water from, you know what I mean? And well, I'd be lying if I said he wasn't one of my better customers. I mean, you gotta move product. How better than a truck driver?
So I've seen a lot of crime and a lot of murders in my 25 years. I am good at what I do. That's why I still do it, and I enjoy what I do. They say find a job you love. Well, who knew that my job was, or what I love is investigating murders. Well, you know, you think you've seen anything and everything throughout the years. And well, this one, you know, it shocked me. I have never seen a person stuffed like a scarecrow before. You just, the hat and everything. It was crazy. You know, it's like out of a horror movie. You don't think people are really them. I mean, I think people are pretty messed up. I've seen a lot of things, but to stuff someone like a scarecrow? I mean, where did they put the insides? We still got to find the insides. I don't know where they went. They're gone.
So I clean a lot of barns, and you know, they get messy because, you know, cows give birth in barns, and all the animals really give birth in barns. So I've dealt with a lot of blood before, and blood, usually if you use the saliva of the animal that produced it, you can clean it up pretty well. But I mean, in Rob's case, the poor Mr. Phillips, you know, he worked on our farm. He shipped a lot of our eggs for us. It was shocking, but anyway, I didn't have to see him in that state. But since he couldn't produce any saliva to get rid of the blood, I made a really big bonfire in Rob Stafford's back lot. He had this huge open space with a lot of weeds in it, and I wasn't really, it just seemed like the right place because it was out of the way, and he obviously had it tucked away for some reason, you know. So did I answer your question? I've been feeling really, maybe I'm in shock. I've been feeling a little anxious and a little lightheaded. And it was after burning all that hay. I don't know. I'm fine. Everything's fine. God, I really miss Mr. Phillips.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. The back lot is on fire. Yes, I am aware of that. Did you not just see like the 3 dogs and Becky Johansson wandering around giggling? Oh, this whole valley smells like a skunk. I mean, that's not exactly a positive statement on the quality of my product, but you get what you pay for. Ugh. I mean, I guess maybe I can just hope that Detective Christian has allergies? Oh God, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So I'm going over to Rob's place to find some clues, investigate the murder a little bit. And boy, does it smell like weed. Like I've smelled weed before in my life, but this was the worst weed I think I've ever seen or smelled. It just, man, you know, some people know how to grow weed. Rob does not. It was pretty clear. The the animals liked it, I'll tell you that. Not too many humans, I don't think, would enjoy that kind of weed. So, yeah, I don't care about that. That's not gonna that's not gonna hinder anything. He clearly doesn't know what he's doing there, so I definitely don't think he planned a murder and stuffed a guy with straw. So he's definitely off the witness or the he's off the suspect list. But I guess we're gonna have to start interviewing the neighbors.
Oh, you know, I'm still hungry. I hate to admit that, but I mean, I like food. I wandered around a bit. in the fields, and then I noticed Isabella had like fluttering about, and she seemed really content. Isabella is one of our red hens, and she's really, really big, and she's really soft, and she'll hug you, and she'll put her little chicken head around her neck, and it's so sweet. Mr. Phillips used to hug all the chickens with me, and now he can't anymore. But we were food. And so she was fluttering about and really happy, and then she came, gave me this hug, and out popped an egg. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. And you know, the fresher the egg, the better it is. It's like the yolk is just butter. It's like butter. And I had a fire right there. And I, don't ask me why, I had some tinfoil in my pocket, and I took it out and I made a little pan, and I cooked up Isabella's egg, and it was delicious. And then a couple more chickens came by, and I don't know what I was burning, but all of them just started laying eggs, and before I knew it, I had eaten like 7 eggs.
I'll admit it's probably kind of suspicious. It would look a little suspicious if Detective Christian ever found out that I was paying a cut to Mac. Yeah. Dead guy shows up in your barn, stuffed like a character from The Wizard of Oz. He didn't have the check on him. But yeah, anyone who looks at his bank records is not going to have a hard time connecting 2 and 2. I mean, it's not a lot of money. It's a hobby farm, right? Well, drug operation's kind of a hobby too. But you know, people said, do what you love. And I just really love marijuana.
So I went to the dead guy's house, and I was going through some of his things, you know, to kind of see what he was into. He had a lot of paraphernalia, if you know what I mean, which doesn't surprise me, smelling what I smelled the other day. It's fine. I went through some of his mail, just a lot of coupons to places like LL Bean and Land's End, and got a regular paycheck from his job over at the auto shop. And well, then there was some other checks though that were a little interesting. They came from a local farm down the street. You know, this local farm that happened to have a dead body in it. Well, this check that I found was particularly larger than some of the other statements from the same person. So I'm starting to put something together here. Maybe I should be a little more suspicious of Rob than I thought I was gonna be in the first place. So yeah, that's kind of interesting.
So I saw, you know, Stevie. It's so familiar. I'm not exactly sure where I know Stevie from though. Yeah, I don't really. Nope, I don't really know Stevie, but when I got home, Daddy was really mad when he heard about Mr. Phillips. He seemed really kind of nervous and upset about it, and I'm not really sure why. I'm not really well, Mac and I kind of hung out a lot. And Daddy didn't really like that very much, but we did it. We were pretty discreet. He didn't know about it exactly. I know where I know Stevie from. I saw him in the bushes taking pictures of Mac and I once. Do you think Daddy hired him?
I mean, it's not every day you just find like chickens with their throats ripped out and half-cooked eggs lying around a burning field of marijuana. Yeah, it was a little odd, okay? I thought maybe it was just a wildfire that burned the back lot, but somebody was back there. Somebody who had a real thing against chickens. I mean, it was a massacre. There was feathers everywhere, just ripped to shreds. I mean, the only person I saw back there was... Nah, no. That's crazy talk. Becky is a perfectly sweet girl. Her father, on the other hand, is quite angry with me. Yeah, there's kind of wants to know when the next shipment is going out. Use of his trucks has never come entirely free. And if there's one thing that I have learned in my time, as a hobby farmer, it's you don't fuck with the egg cartel.
So I got a letter at the hotel. Not too many people know where I'm staying at the hotel. So that, well, they know I'm staying. They don't, but you know, so it's weird that I got a letter at the hotel, is what I'm saying. And I looked at the handwriting, and it looked to be my old buddy, Mr. Stafford. And man, I haven't heard that name in years. So a chill, went down my spine. And then I was like, oh, shoot, I was interviewing. It must have been his son. Or, yeah. It's very, very confusing. And I just, suddenly I put it together. That's who killed him. That's who killed the person. It's all a setup for Rob. They want to get Rob in trouble. So they put a dead body and stuffed him in his own hayloft. So naturally, I'm going to look at Rob, right? Because that's where the dead body is. No, of course not. It's his dad.
So I'm supposed to keep our community safe and clean, and protect the family. I'm used to doing a lot of cleanup. I'm not used to taking care of business. So I thought I'd try to be a little, I try to send a message without directly hurting a person. So, I mean, I know the fire had burnt down most of the backfield, but I decided to go and set it on fire again. And then I took some of our really old chickens and I kind of tore them apart and I littered the ground with them. And I really hope that Rob gets the message and gets himself together. So I don't have to do the same kind of cleanup I had to do for Matt. Yes, Mac. He was really sweet. And he was really nice to the chickens. And he always did his job. Got everything done on time. And
Like I said, Becky's just a really sweet girl. I mean, kind of the talk of town that her and Mac were an item, and everyone knew that her dad did not approve of it. And, well, I mean, he looked the other way. He must have been at least okay with it on some level. I mean, God, he certainly seemed interested in how the investigation was going. I mean, that to stuff a man like a scarecrow, clearly he pissed off somebody who, oh God. I don't think they did it.
I figured it out. Of course I figured it out. It was Becky's dad. It was Becky's dad all along. He wasn't too happy with what Becky was doing, I guess. And well, he had to throw someone under the bus, so he was gonna throw Rob under the bus somehow. And I have to go tell him. So I went to his farm and it's on fire again. I mean, how does it already burnt down? I guess they got the other half. I tried to find him, and I look in the hayloft. While I glance in the hayloft because it's partially on fire, I hear some screaming up there. What am I gonna do? I'm not a fireman. I'm a private investigator. I called the fire people. That's what I did. But you know, I did what I had to do. I did my due diligence. I went to go tell Rob he should watch out.
Oh, well, when the rest of the farm started burning, I kind of put two and two together. The late payments, the threatening messaging from Mr. Johansson, the dead body in my hayloft. I knew it was time to get out of there. I knew I had seen Becky around shortly before the fire, so I ran into the barn to try and warn her that, you know, there's bad things afoot, and she needed to get out of there too. And she was in there, all dressed up in smocks and ready to clean up a mess. Didn't know the mess was going to be me.
Well, turns out I'm not too good at my job anymore. I was hired to solve a murder, and then another one happened right under my nose. So guess it's time to quit the force and move on to something new. I think I might I might try hobby farming.
Well, I found out what Daddy actually did after I killed Rob in the barn. It was an enlightening experience. I had killed chickens before, but I had no idea what that felt like. And after I did that, I made sure that the barn would burn. I left Rob in the loft, presumably dead. And I went home and I killed Daddy. And I turned him into a scarecrow, like he did to Mac. And he's now in our field. And I took over the egg farm, and my chickens are doing great. And they're very happy. I actually saved some of the some of the plants that were in Rob's yard, and I started growing them, and it really makes the chickens produce lots of eggs. They're really happy. And the town is safe now, and I don't, well, I truly know what I'm capable of.
Hey, thanks everyone for watching Confessional. We are the Reservoir Frogs. Today you saw Heather Jo Rader as Becky Johansson, Adam Bouts as Rob Stafford, and Jenny Benusa as Stevie Christian. I am Andy Christian, your host and director. Please join us again for Improvocation, and thank you and good night.